Hola, buenos dias. It is a wonderful day at the central station here in La Paz. And when I say central station, I mean the central station for cable cars. And I'm going to be going up to one of Bolivia's most dangerous cities, El Alto, which is on a higher sort of hill or mountain looking over the pit of La Paz. I'm going to be getting the cable car from here. It should cost me a combination of 3 bolivianos and 2 bolivianos on a transfer to get up there.
¿Dos boletos?
Sí, sí, dos.
Ahí tienes.
Gracias. Okay, so that was actually different to how it worked out the other day when I got it. I've actually been given what looks like 2 single tickets for 6 bolivianos. Yesterday I got a combined one for 5 where I could go on 2 trips. So I've lost out on maybe 10 pence, but I'm not sure if it's different at this central station. Hola.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Gracias. Cars are here behind me. Let's go on. Hop on one. They come very often. They're always coming around.
Tranquilo, tranquilo. Ya.
So I've now exited the first cable car, some music here, and I'm walking around the corner because I think there's some big El Alto letters which I want to see, and there's a dog there. Some big El Alto letters which I want to see before I get the following cable car over El Alto, and here it is. Wow. Okay, so now I need to get the second cable car. Now, this second cable car that I'm going to get is on the blue line. I've just come off the red line, and this cable car should go straight over the top of the market that I'm going to be walking back through later after I visit the highest professional football stadium in the world. The highest stadium in the world with over 10,000 capacity, and that is the Municipal Stadium of El Alto, where Bolivia national team now play their games. And it was only built around 10 years ago. You can see the whole street lined with market stalls. 5 square kilometers. And just behind this station is where the 16th of July street begins, and the market that is 3 kilometers long. So here I am in the depths of El Alto, and I just used this toilet in this building because I needed just to urinate, and it cost me the equivalent of 2 British pence, but that's because that's what I offered her. There was no price on there, but the usual price is around 10 British pence. So I got away with that one reasonably well, and I got rid of some of my small coins as well, and now I'm walking up this busy and dirty road area to the stadium. I'm about halfway there, and there is a girls' football game going on here in this little park. I think for the first time the stadium has come into my sight at the end of this street. It's very, very sunny. Don't know if you can just see a sort of stadium there. There's a mountainous background as well, just over the top of the stadium. Let's take a closer look. Just coming towards the stadium now, and for some reason there's loads of people hanging around here behind me. The stadium's just over there. Looks like some kind of Cuban Republic school. I might be wrong. That's my Spanish translation. So I have arrived now at Estadio Municipal de El Alto. And this sign here says, "Welcome to Titan. We are Bolivia, we play where we live." So now I'm going to walk the circumference of the stadium and see if I can get maybe a view of the pitch from the outside. So around the front right of the stadium, as I've come into it, you've got a couple of sponsorships, Coca-Cola and Via Santa. Now I actually bought a bottle of Via Santa Agua water, 7 litres for the equivalent of £1.50 in British pence the other day. And over here on this side of the stadium, there seems to be some kind of monument. Quite nice over that side. I'm now at the Boleteria Curva Norte, which is the north curve of the stadium, and that's where they usually be selling tickets. Oh, I may be able to actually just see through the bottom of this fence. Yes, there is someone mowing the lawn. I think the capacity is around 22,000, and I can get a look through the fence again. Just about to see the pitch. This stadium is actually home to a club team as well. They are called Always Ready. So if that is the case, then I presume they're finishing near the top of the league or thereabouts. The stadium began to be built in 2013 and it was finished in July 2017. And over the past couple of years is when Bolivia have moved from the stadium in La Paz, which is the pit of a city that the people of El Alto look down on. They moved here. Now, I think the reason for that is due to the altitude. This is 4,150 meters above sea level. The one in La Paz is probably at least 300 meters lower than that. Still high altitude. However, I think the Bolivians want to get as much of a home advantage as possible. And we've seen recently Uruguay come here and play against Bolivia. And the centre-back, Jose Maria Jimenez, who plays for Atletico Madrid, he was seen taking an oxygen mask behind the goal mouth as he was really struggling to breathe here, and that is the case with lots of visiting teams. So I've now come all the way around to the south side of the stadium, Boleteria Curva Sur, and you've got a different type of water as a sponsor here. It's quite a nicely painted stadium, red and white, concrete build, shades of the San Siro, but reasonably modern for what you'd think they'd have in Bolivia. And I'm just going to get a last view of the stadium from this side. So it doesn't look to me like there's any proper seats in there. Looks like there's just sort of concrete blocks that people either stand or sit on. El estadio más alto del mundo, the highest stadium in the world. And here we have a fourth sponsor, Sofia, the official sponsor of the Confianza, whatever that means. Just as I was about to leave, I can see this door open. So I may try and go inside. ¿Trabajas aquí? Soy turista y quiero mirar el estadio. ¿Puedo?
No sé.
Oh, no sé, no, bueno, ok. ¿Yo puedo? Sí. Gracias. Hola. ¿Sí? ¿Trabajas aquí? Oh, yo soy turista y quiero mirar el estadio adentro. ¿Es posible o solo afuera?
Acá, sí.
Al Javier.
Sí.
¿No sabes dónde estoy? No, yo soy la cosa más grande que quedar así.
Javier. Bobby.
Gracias. ¿Te gusta el fútbol?
Sí.
¿Sí? ¿Y Bolivia, un buen equipo, Bolivia?
Tiene buen equipo. Va a jugar el 10 de junio aquí.
Ah, bueno.
El equipo.
Wow, sí. Hola.
Son jugadores.
Ah, hola.
Y deportes.
Ah, bueno. Mucho gusto. Sí, sí, foto.
La foto con los jugadores.
Mira.
Es de Inglaterra.
¿Jugadores
El tema de
de
Beckham.
qué equipo?
De Gamea.
Gamea.
Aquí de la alcaldía.
Ah, bueno.
La Federación de Bolivia. Eso colocarse aquí. Bolivia. Ah, ya, Bolivia.
Ajá.
Bolivia. ¿Qué?
Ah, qué bueno.
Ajá. Ahí sacate bata. Dale.
Bolivia. Qué bueno.
Bueno, gusto.
Mucho gusto.
Very good.
Mucho gusto. Que tengan buen día.
Eres
Nice to meet you.
pasapelotas.
Ah, bueno. 10 de junio.
10 de
sí.
junio, aquí. Con Chile.
Con Chile. Es difícil para otros equipos porque es más alto,
Más
¿no?
alto.
Sí, sí.
Hasta vos debes acercarte, ¿no?
Sí.
¿O no?
Está bien. Pero
Algo.
yo vi una foto de un jugador de Uruguay,
Sí.
Jiménez, con una más
Ah, con aquí afuera.
oxígena, sí.
Sí, sí.
Ah, qué bueno, gracias. Wow. Bueno. Muy bien. So I'm here at the pitch now. They've kindly let me in, and muy bien. You can see the inside of the stadium here, and I've just met 2 players on the outside as well. Wow, this is quite the experience in the highest stadium in the world. And it looks like the man is mowing the lawn. He says there's a game here on the 10th of June. Wow, I'm now pitch side. I'm being led up towards the groundsman, I think. And some very important players have played here. All the South American teams that have played here, basically. So all of those famous South American players. And are now heading towards the dugout. Hola, buen día. Wow, qué bueno. ¿Y Bolivia normalmente aquí o ahí?
Bolivia,
Ah, Bolivia. No,
Equipo visitante.
Visitantes, sí. This is the visiting dugout, and this is the Bolivian dugout. And here's the tunnel as well, where they walk out onto the pitch. Hola. Good. Oh, see. Wow, that was interesting. When I got to the dugout, the head groundsman, who also takes care of golf courses in Lima, told me to stop recording immediately and not to post any of the content that I've recorded until the 10th of June, which is their next game against Chile. And so this will be posted after the 10th of June, because I was appreciative that they allowed me in the stadium. Apparently it's the government order to show nothing of the stadium before that fixture, as they're still working on the stadium and the pitch. And he was telling me that lots of the stadiums in South America, and this one included, they've now changed the pitch, so they don't have the usual 30 centimetres of soil. They've only got 12 centimetres with artificial ground underneath, propping up a short amount of grass on top. And one of the 2 seeds they use for the grass here in the stadium that I was just in is rye, which is very, very hard to control at over 4,000 metres altitude, and the bursting radiation heat of the sun at this altitude as well means they have to water it every day, and they cut it every 3 days. So that was definitely an experience that pretty much I don't think any tourists have had. That's what the groundsman told me, at least. No one's allowed in there, but they let me in, and I'm very grateful for that. And I'm now going to be walking towards the 16 de Julio Mercado, the market of the 16th of July street, the one that you saw from the cable car when I headed up this way. Just walking past a Capilla Santiago del Ingenio. Very nice little building here. Where I got off the cable car, the stop was called Rio Seco, which means dry river, and I can now see why they've called it that. So, walking around the streets of El Alto so far, feeling pretty safe. The most dangerous thing is probably the dogs. They've got a bit of an edge to them around here. I'm near the 16th of July market now, and there's a university there, and I'll just walk past something interesting, which was this. Is how they sell accommodations in Bolivia on a piece of paper. For example, 2 rooms upstairs, 1 kitchen, 1 bathroom. That sign there in the middle of the shot says the 16th of July Street, which means I am now at the start of the 3-kilometre market street. There's loads of minibuses and people with microphones, very noisy, and there's actually a little London Eye on my right hand side here. And there are people streaming as well. I don't know if it's that exciting. I'm going to correct myself because someone's in this one. Look at that one. There's someone inside there. They're going to be right out of sorts when they get off. Now, at this end of the street, it's the part that's furthest away from La Paz. And there isn't much for sale here in terms of market-wise. You can't see any stalls around me. There's lots of places to eat lunch and stuff like that, but no market stalls. I think towards the other half there'll be more. So I'm here in the market now, and there's lots of small roofs when you're walking through the market. I'm not sure what the average height is in Bolivia, but I have to duck every time when I'm weaving in and out this market. Loads of fresh food. Chicken all along there. Fresh fruits and vegetables, and potatoes. I'm walking on the shadow side because it's absolutely boiling on the other side. You can see the cable cars up above me, very busy, very, very busy. And it seems like each time there's a cable car stop, there are clothes areas rather than sort of foods and fruits and juices and eateries. For example, around here, I don't know if you can see lots of clothes and belts and stuff to my right and left. Very nice pestle and mortars. Now in the shoe section, there's, I'm going to guesstimate, 500,000 shoes down this street. I've come actually off the main street because this place looked really busy down here. It looks like they're just selling sort of tools and machinery. So I actually think I'm going to turn back, but I'll just show you how busy it is up this street. So let's go back onto the main market. So I'm now walking underneath all those tents that you saw at the start of the video when I was on the cable car. All of those coloured tents, you can see them around here behind me. I think I'm now coming towards the end of the market. You can almost buy anything here. There's loads of stuff. However, I was looking for 2 things: swimming goggles, which I haven't found, and a quinoa and cheese dish, which I also haven't found. So I actually managed to just before they were closing down, get some of the quinoa that I was looking for, pesque, which is quinoa with cheese, a local dish in Bolivia because they grow a lot of quinoa here, and in the salt flats quinoa grows, one of the very few things to grow there. So now the only thing left to look for is goggles. I've only got about a maybe 50-metre section, I think, before the cable car. Oh no, maybe another 200 metres. So maybe there's still a chance of goggles as well. This market is a pickpocket's heaven, but not around me because I've got zips. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here: cables, hats, looks like fans and car parts. We've got tyres over there, shoes. Coming into the clothes section. Well, I say the clothes section because the clothes start, but then they're selling soap. Sorry, not soap, soup. And I'm coming towards the end now. And still, unfortunately, no swimming goggles found. Nearly crashed into someone there. But my whole day today in El Alto, I'm just trying to think if I've seen any tourists. Or any people with the same colour skin as me, at least. and I don't think I have. And they're selling lots of New Balance trainers here. If you know, you know. Just as I mentioned, not seeing any tourists here, this man just looked into the camera. He is the first tourist I've seen as I arrive at the central station. It's very, very busy here. Trying to navigate my way through. Been walking around El Alto. There's some fresh sugarcane juice there. Been walking around El Alto for around 3, maybe even 4 hours, something like that now. And I'm now going to get the cable car back to the central station and return back to my hostel. The people eating in this restaurant here, they get some free entertainment. Whether they want it or not, because it's quite loud, I'm not sure. Lots of police presence here for some reason. I think it's the bicentenary of something. I've come round to the El Alto sign once more just before I get the cable cars down, just to look at the view down to where I'm going. And look at this. I don't think I'll ever see a city like this ever again. And just like that, like deja vu, I am back at the place I started, the central station, 5 hours ago. I hope you enjoyed the video. El Alto, probably not dangerous at all, to be honest. So the narrative is incorrect, for me at least today.